The reason you're still broke isn't because making money is hard. It's because deciding how you're going to spend your time making that money, that's hard. I struggled for years to make consistent income in my online business, but when I fixed my time problem, everything changed. I built a 7-figure business using what I'm going to show you here today. And then I started another secret business from scratch to prove that what I'm going to show you here is repeatable, even if you have zero audience. And I made $492,000 in 6 months, all because I knew exactly what to focus my time on. So in this video today, I'm going to show you how to decide what to spend your time on to build $1 million business, exactly how much time to spend doing each thing that will turn into money in the bank down to the minute, and the exact business model that will maximize your profits in the least amount of time. So, are you guys ready to dig in? Let me know in the chat if you are ready to dig in, because today's session is juicy and I can't wait to show you what I got. All right. First of all, let me know in the chat. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Is everything working out? Are we good? Can I go? Let me know in the chat. All right. So, to begin, let's address this question. We all have limited time. So, what should you focus that time into making people? That's not into making people. All right. So we all have limited time. So what should you focus that time on making something that people will actually want to buy? Because with online business, we've got memberships, we've got workshops, we've got digital products, courses, we got high ticket coaching. But at the end of the day, you need to remember why you decided to build an online business. So let me know in the chat, why did you decide to build an online business? Because see, over the past 10 years, I've personally spoken to over 5,000 experts, consultants, course creators, content creators, and coaches, and asked them why they want to build their business. And again, it came back to 5 very specific reasons. And based on their answers, I created a framework to help you really figure out what to create that people will want to buy and that will help you hit all 5 of those main reasons. So, the first step of the framework is whatever this thing that you create is, it needs to bring you freedom, right? Like that's why we're doing business online. We want to be able to work from anywhere, do what we want with our lives, spend time with our kids, our girlfriends, whatever, right? So, the first thing that you need to question is my business bringing you freedom? Is your business bringing you freedom? The second thing is it needs to deliver insane results. Like I know from my own experience that one of the main reasons that I started an online business is because I want to help people. And that's something that I hear all the time from my clients too. Like I'm a big believer that if you focus on delivering amazing, mind-blowing results for your clients, everything's going to work out and fall into place. So, let me know in the chat, is helping people something that like you really want to do in your business? Because if so, this video is for you. So far we got freedom and helping people, right? The reasons that we started online business. All right. Next up, it needs to position you as an authority, as like the top of mind go-to expert in your niche. You want that, right? You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they're thinking of like, who could help me with this? So, top of mind, authority. And the fourth thing is it needs to help you reach your income goals. Whether you want to make 10K or 100K per month, that is absolutely possible, but some of the options that we mentioned, right? Like memberships or a low ticket course, it's just not going to help you reach your income goals consistently, and I'll dive deeper into why that is in just a second. So, let me know in the chat if everybody agrees here, if I've got that right? So we've got must bring you freedom, you must help people, It must position you as an authority in your niche, the go-to expert, right? It has to help you reach your income goals. After all, it is a business. Otherwise, it is just a hobby. And then finally, it needs to be scalable. Okay. Uh, and Alexander, yes, this is really live. And we're going to do a Q&A at the end, so stick around. Power Car Facts, Sean, Niche's Private Equity, amazing. YouTube España, hello. Weston, hello. All right, see, live. You guys, we are here to get that money, all right? Okay, so finally, the last thing that it needs to be is it needs to be scalable. What does that mean? It means that it needs to continue to grow your income even as you keep putting in the same amount of time and effort. So you need to be able to get more out of this thing than you put in continuously over time, right? And when we look at business from the lens of this framework, a few things happen. The first is we gotta eliminate the monthly memberships, because for you to have a successful monthly membership, you have to create exclusive content all the time. That's on top of the content that you're already creating to get people into your membership, right? So that's a lot of content that you need to be creating just to keep your existing clients. So what does that mean? Buy freedom. Monthly memberships are not going to get that very first thing that's really important for us, which is freedom, right? And monthly memberships are usually low ticket. So you're not going to reach your income goals unless you have a massive audience. And it creates a lead generation nightmare because you're going to have to constantly be thinking about, like, how am I going to get more people into this membership so that I can make money, so that I can reach my income goals? It's really hard to do. And spoiler, the thing that I'm going to show you will get you to reach your income goals even without an audience. Even if you're at 0 followers, this is going to work for you. All right. Now, using this framework, we also eliminate pre-recorded courses. Pre-record some lessons, slap them on your course platform, leave your clients to their own devices, because that's not going to deliver insane results. In fact, we have something like a 5% course completion rate across the online education space, which is nothing. And that's why, right? People go in, they sign up once, and then they never come back. And that is horrible for your reputation. And it throws that authority building piece right out the window. Okay. So it also, using this framework, we eliminate live workshops, which is great for building authority because you're live, but you got to launch that. Now, let me ask you this and reply to me in the chat here. Okay. Have you ever launched before? I know I have. And it is madness. Like getting the leads, getting everyone in one place, delivering the thing, making all this money, and then the money just dries up. So you got to do it all again. So that freedom, that number one reason that we started our online business, that just goes right out the door. And finally, using this framework, we also eliminate one-to-one coaching. Now, I know that that's where a lot of experts like you kind of get trapped, because it's a really good way to deliver an amazing service, right? It's a really good way to really support your clients and help them and to deliver something that's high ticket. So it's also going to help your income goals. So I can totally see the logic there. Oh, I'm going to work one-on-one with clients. I'm going to give them amazing results. I'm going to make money. But when you do one-to-one coaching, you are essentially trading your time for money, and you are going to reach an income cap. So again, that piece where we really want to reach that income goal, gone. Not only that, but that cuts right into that thing about helping people, because you have a very specific limit of how many people you can help, because you only have 24 hours in a day, right? And hopefully you want to help more than 24 people, but like you can't even, because you got to sleep and you got to eat and you got to go to the gym and you got to do all the life things. So with all that said, let's go back to your why for becoming an online entrepreneur in the first place. Okay. Again, Number one reason, to have freedom, to truly help people, to become the go to expert and authority in your niche, to reach your income goals, and to scale that income. Let me know in the chat if I got that right. Again, does that ring true to you? Are those the reasons why you decided to start an online business? And when we take those five things into account and focus your time on building something around them, you'll see that making money really is not hard. And I'm going to tell you exactly where to focus every minute of your time to build that thing. Okay. So, what is that thing? What are we creating that can really deliver on those five things? Before I tell you, let me say hello to Tiff. Hello, Dr. Dega. You guys, I am live currently. I've never done this before, but on the YouTube feed and on the Shorts feed, which is super exciting. There's like two chats, which I haven't figured out how to get them together. But, anyways, how do we create something that can really deliver on those five things? We create a hybrid, evergreen, high ticket program. It is a trifecta that hits all those 5 points that are the reason that you started an online business. So let's break it down, okay? We start with pre-recorded lessons. So it's got the scalability of an online course, right? Your entire curriculum is pre-recorded. Your students and your clients get to go through it at their own pace. And it's also really building that authority because you're laying out your expertise in an easy to follow system. All right. Then we've got that high touch support. Okay. So okay, lost my mouse here. Lost my mouse, people. Okay, found my mouse. Found my mouse. All right. So, next. The second part of that trifecta, right? You've got high ticket support through highly personalized group coaching. And this is where you're able to deliver those insane results like you would with a one-to-one client because essentially your clients need that help when they're doing the thing, right? They need coaching, they need support. Sometimes coaching is almost like therapy. At least that's how I see it with my clients sometimes. And because that support is so high touch, you can charge high ticket, which makes it really easy to reach your income goals. And then you've got a community. So basically, you bring all your clients into a Discord server or a Facebook group, whatever it is for you. So you've got that engagement like a membership. And just like a membership, your clients can continue to opt in for continued support after their initial support period is over. So it brings monthly recurring revenue, which is amazing, right? And the best part of this format is that you can do it without the need to start building an audience. You can create something like this, even if you have 0 followers or if you've just started your YouTube channel, which really is the case for a lot of my clients. Because listen, you're an expert, right? You have your network, you have your people in your area. And a lot of the times, experts don't have thousands of followers on Instagram or YouTube yet. A lot of the time, experts are not marketers. And that's okay because when we build our business this way, you don't have to. You don't have to be a marketer. You don't have to be a creator. You don't have to have those followers. So let me know in the chat right now if you are an expert that feels like you're kind of bad at marketing or that like doesn't have any followers. You have like 0 audience. And for that reason, you're like, I don't know that I could monetize anything because nobody follows me. Let me know in the chat. And I've got Tiff here in the live stream that's not in Shorts. I don't know how to differentiate them, you guys, but I've got Tiff here who is a client of mine saying, can confirm I had 0 following and this works. Yeah, Tiffany killed it with this process, which I'm about to lay out. So, all right. This is the trifecta that you're going to build, right? A hybrid evergreen online program. That's what you're going to do. Go build a thing, video over. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do you dirty like that. Okay. So let's break down exactly what you're going to do to build your hybrid evergreen high ticket program and exactly how much time you're going to spend doing each of the steps that you need to build that $1 million online business. Because again, making money is not hard. What's hard is knowing what to focus your time on. So let's solve that right now. Now, I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. And while I do, I want to hear in the chat what you've tried so far to make money online that has not worked. Like, what have you been focusing your time on? Because we're about to fix that. All right. So I just told you what you're going to create, right? So you know what you're going to create. Now let's look at what actually needs to be the content of that high ticket evergreen program, right? And let's talk about how you're actually going to get that started and get that out into the world and turn that into money in your pockets, okay? So, this is actually one of my favorite parts of the process because it's where we're going to solve for all the issues that are going to come up in the process of building your online business. Like, it's going to solve how to find your clients, how to get people to buy your program, how to scale it, how to create content, literally all the problems that you're going to come across. This process is going to solve. Okay. All these things are going to be non-issues when we start with this very first thing, which is the transformation. Okay. This is really where uh, the transformation, you guys, like, okay, lots of talking. Um, the transformation is really somewhere that gets people stuck so much because I've seen this all the time. People are like, I'm going to create a course about how to grow on Instagram, or I'm going to create a course about how to feel more alive in your own skin, or I'm going to create a course about how to whatever, do some shit. But like, what does that mean? Where is the person when they join your program? Where's your client starting? And where do they end up when they're done? That's the literal definition of the transformation. So let's go back to time and how you're going to spend it. Okay. You are going to spend 1 hour deciding on the transformation that you're going to deliver. Like, I'm not kidding you guys when I say I'm really breaking down exactly how long you need to spend on each thing to actually make money, because you don't have a money making problem. Making money is not hard. You have a time problem and you don't know how to spend your time. So you're going to spend 1 hour deciding on the transformation that you are going to deliver. And the transformation needs to be something that you've been through, like an obstacle that you've overcome, or at the very least, something that you've helped a client or even a friend overcome. Okay, this is really important. And I'm going to tell you a story about why this is so important. I have a client, her name is Sandra. Okay. She wanted to do social media marketing. She was like, cool. I have this Facebook, I have this Instagram, I have all these followers, I get deals with clients, and I want to help people do that too. But she wasn't getting anywhere. Like, she had the expertise, she had the followers, but nobody wanted to buy what she was selling. So when we started working together, I was like, okay, let's look at the transformation. Let's look at what's going on here. And let's look at her specific journey and her specific expertise. And let's really personalize all that to her. And that's where, when I found out that Sandra, this client, had a huge involvement in the wine community. And when she wasn't, posting on Instagram, she was having meeting with sommeliers, she was trying out new grapes, she was doing all this stuff in the wine community, right? And she knew all these sommeliers, she knew these restaurant owners who needed to put together their like wine lists. So we were like, hey, let's get really specific here, right? You know how to grow your Instagram account and you've made some brand deals with that. But like, how many people in the world have done that? So, what is your unfair advantage? And when I say your unfair advantage, I say, what is something that you have that most other people don't have? Now, I want to know in the chat, what's your unfair advantage? So in Sandra's case, um, we were like, let's get very specific. You've got all these sommeliers, this wine knowledge, all that stuff. So why not help sommeliers grow their social media following and get clients using Instagram like she had done? Because the wine community, that's her unfair advantage. So this is something that's really important, right? Like, we need to think about your unfair advantage, something that's very specific to you, and we need to think about where is that point A where you started and where is that point B where you ended up. So for your clients, it's like, where are your clients right now and where do they want to end up? And what we're going to do is we're just really going to bridge that gap between point A and point B with your program. And I love Sandra's story because when we first started, she was making $0, zero. And she went on to make 28,000 in just 28 days. And she actually sent me a video. I need to pull up this video, you guys. Like, I have it somewhere. And she was like, Lou, you saved my marriage. And I was like, wait, what do you mean I saved your marriage? I am a business coach. I don't know how to save marriages. Like, don't get me involved in your marriage. But she was like, no, really, my husband was not looking at me. He like had no interest in me because I wasn't doing anything. Like, I had nothing going for me in my life. And now he admires me again. He's taking me on a date and he even bought me a new car. And I was like, okay, all right, that is amazing. And that is the power of getting very clear on your transformation. Now, let me know in the chat, do you know your transformation? And if not, remember, you're spending 1 hour. I am telling you exactly how much time to focus on exactly what things. So 1 hour getting your transformation ready. So let's see. Alex, I know you had a question, but I'm gonna address questions at the end of the live. We're gonna do a big Q&A, all right? Okay, so we're going to start with the transformation, and you're really going to think, what was your lowest point and how did you overcome it? Okay. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, well, what if I haven't been through a transformation? What do I do? Well, first, I don't think that's true because we've all been through transformations. We've all overcome obstacles in our lives. And sometimes that transformation has to do with your professional life. Like for me, I overcame, hitting my head against the wall trying to grow an online business for years, and then the transformation was I figured it out and grew my business to 7 figures and then grew a second business in a new country and in a new language from scratch. That is a very clear transformation. Sometimes, though, I get it. It's not so clear. Like, I have a client, her name is Juliana, and she was a photographer her whole life. For like 25 years, all she knew was photography. And she said that. She's like, this is all I know, but I don't want to teach photography or work with photographers. I'm done with that. So I don't know what my transformation is, right? But no, not right. Because there are steps in this process and questions and digging that we do. And with this particular client, with Juliana, I found out from our conversations that she's this like unicorn woman with insane self-esteem. Like, I've never seen this before in a woman. Like, she's like, I am so hot. I know I'm hot. Like, everybody wants me. Everybody wants to be friends with me. I'm amazing. I'm smart. I'm intelligent. And that's something that happened like at some point in her life. She wasn't always like that. She wasn't always that confident. So we pinpointed when that was that happened in her life and how she went from being, like the rest of us to being this like super self-confident alien. And we created a program to help women with their self-esteem so that they can get projects out into the world, which, if you think about it, kind of has everything to do with photography because it's all about self-image, right? And when she got that transformation nailed, she made $19,000 in 90 days. So, yes, we all have transformations. We just need to do some digging. And like, when you're doing that digging, I just really want you to think about your journey and your experience, because that's where your gold really is going to be. Because your clients are just a mirror of you in a few months or in a few years. Or rather, Your clients are just a mirror of you a few months ago or a few years ago, right? They're going to be the best clients that you'll ever have because they'll trust you. They'll know you've been in the trenches. They will relate to you. And you are in this very unique position to get them where they want to go, which is where you are now. So you just need to make the solution to a problem that you yourself had like 2 years ago or 10 years ago or last month. So think, what is the hardest thing that you've overcome? I'd love to hear in the chat, like, what is the hardest thing that you've overcome? This could be in your life or in your job or when you were trying to reach a specific goal. And then just really think about that and go back and think about the steps that you took to make that transformation happen. Okay. Now another thing, let me take a breather, guys. Let me know in the chat, first of all, what was the hardest thing that you've overcome, and we will continue because I've got like a lot more very time specific things that you are going to do to make money. And this is just the first hour, right? We're spending 1 hour on this. Okay. Now, another thing that I want to talk about with the transformation real quick. And listen, this is where I'm spending the most time on this video is the transformation because it really is the beginning of everything. It's the foundation of everything. It's what's going to set you apart from your competitors and it's what's going to make you make that money. Okay. So another thing that I want to talk about with the transformation that I think is really important and that so many people miss is that you need to get super specific about your ideal client in 3 ways. Okay. So they need to be one specific client. So YouTubers, experts, coaches, people with type 2 diabetes, women going through menopause. What is the specific person? Who are they? Then they need to be in pain about one specific thing. So let's say YouTubers. YouTubers are in pain about a bunch of things. Like they could be in pain about not getting views or not knowing how to film or, how to use their equipment. But for me, for my YouTuber clients, I'm going to get really specific about helping them build that online business that brings those 5 factors that we talked about, right? Freedom, helping people, authority, income goals, and scaling. That's the one goal that they really want to achieve that I'm going to focus on. Okay. And so, again, one specific person, one specific problem that they're going through, and the specific solution that they want to achieve. Really focusing on these 3 things is what's going to bring you that scalability and that freedom because all your clients are going to be exactly the same. This means that you can put together an airtight program that's going to guarantee to solve all your clients' problems. You'll be able to make guarantees. You end up with like so many fewer questions, which gives you less work. And you're able to train people better because people like you're able to train like assistant coaches and your team better because they know everything about your client and how to help them. So again, just think back to your story. What was your 3 things? Like who were you? What was the problem? And what did you want to achieve? What did it feel like? Okay. Think about your own pain and then think of something that fixes it. And once you do that, right, you're going to spend that one hour thinking about that transformation. And once you do that, what you're going to be left with is a really pretty, beautiful, shiny document of things that you think. Right? Because this was your experience. We need to realize that like this is what you went through and this is what you think people want, but we need to validate that because we're going to sell something. So we need to make sure that you're not the only person on earth that has done that or felt that way when you were going through that situation. I actually have a blueprint that really helps with this, with getting that transformation down. I've left the link in the description if you want to download it. But again, this should take you 1 hour. Okay. So now we're tallying up the time here. We've spent 1 hour. And at this point, you might be thinking, okay, I have the transformation and I know who my ideal client is, but why would somebody buy from me? Maybe you're thinking, I suck at marketing, or I don't know how to sell, or I have literally zero credibility or audience or clients or anything that proves that they would want to buy from me. Have you ever felt that way? Like, why would somebody buy from me? Like, I suck at marketing, I can't sell. Let me know in the chat if that's something that you've experienced, because I know those are real fears. And I'm about to give you such a treat. Because, like I said, we are going to solve for all the issues you're going to face before we even try to sell something. I don't want you to, make a fool of yourself. I don't want you to embarrass yourself. I don't want you to like feel icky trying to sell a thing. So, we're going to solve for all the issues that you're going to face before we even try to sell something. Because that's the thing. If I tell you to just create a course and then go sell it, you might start having thoughts like, I don't know if I could sell this. I've never done this before. And then I try to get you to promote your thing and ask people on the internet for money. That's scary. I know that's scary. So I think it's really funny. I'm just going to parentheses here. I've got Chris O'Connell saying, I'm thinking this isn't live. And I wonder why Chris thinks that this is not live. Is this because I'm so good at my job? I'm just kidding, you guys. But yes, Chris, this is live. Stay till the end. Ask your questions. Like, I will actually answer all your questions on our live Q&A when we're done. Okay? So absolutely, this is live. Like, oh, I know how to prove it. Look, it's 12:33 p.m. 12:34. Oh, okay. So, all right. So, again, if I tell you to just create a course and then go sell it, you might start having thoughts like, I don't know if I could sell this. I've never done this before. And then I tell you to go promote the thing. And then I tell you to go ask people on the internet for money. That is scary. You guys, this is so live that I got to like fix a thing. Hold on one second. All right, thing fixed. So the next step is going to benefit you in a very specific marketing perspective, but also with your confidence and just being able to go out there and sell the thing. And we will spend 4 weeks on this next step. And you're going to spend 4 weeks focused on just this. Okay, I want to repeat this, that it's not 4 weeks doing this and creating content or doing this and trying to whatever. You're going to spend 4 weeks on just this. Deal? Let me know in the chat that that you got that. This is what we're going to do. Nothing but this for 4 weeks. Is that clear? Yes. All right. So, we will spend the next 4 weeks on market research. And I know you're like, I've done market research. I sent out a poll on Instagram and I'm like, girl, come on. I'm Brazilian. I've got street smarts. And if you want to win, you have to outdo your competition by a lot. So your poll on Instagram is not going to cut it. Okay. And you better listen to me because I'm an immigrant who started a business from scratch in this very competitive market and made $492,000 in 6 months. So over the next 4 weeks, we are going to do market research and we are really going to figure out your messaging. We're going to get in your clients' minds. We're going to build trust with the people that you want to serve. And we are going to start building an audience and building a client pipeline. And this is how we're going to get our first sales. So I want to tell you a story about my client, Louisa. Okay. And if you looked at Louisa from the outside, you'd be like, Louisa, she's good to go, right? She had a big YouTube channel, like 40,000 subscribers, and she's a dog trainer and she had all these videos about doggies. So fun, right? This is cue for Lola. Lola, this is where you come up and like ruin the live. And by ruin, I mean make it super cute, but no, she's not having it. She's sleeping. Anyways, she had a big Instagram community and she had an online course. And she came to me because she was like, Lou, okay, my online course is not selling. I don't break $3,000 a month. I have to go to people's houses to help them with their dogs. And I charge like $200 an hour. I'm stuck commuting. It's a disaster. And on top of that, she had all these limiting beliefs. Like, she really thought that she had to be present because it's a dog. And she thought that she couldn't charge too much because it's a dog. Like, she had all these things going on, right? So we applied this market research strategy where I said, Louisa, I need you to get to your ideal clients and start asking them questions. So I started handing her questions to ask her clients. And these are simple questions, but they build so much trust when you start asking, right? So when you go to a dog owner and you say, hold on, I got distracted because Tiffany's saying, I'm a current client of Lou's and this works. Appreciate you. I appreciate you too, Tiff. You're the best. All right. So when you go to a dog owner and you say, what is your biggest frustration with your dog? If you send out a form, maybe they'll say, my dog chews on the couch. Okay. But when you start talking to them, it becomes, my dog chews on the couch. And then you say, okay, what happens then? And then they'll say, well, I stopped going out because he chews on the couch and I've already had to replace the couch twice and it's so much money. And then you say, well, what are you missing when you don't go out? And then they'll say, well, I can't go on dates, so I'm still single. Wow, I just said that so wrong because I'm Brazilian. Not single. They'll say, I can't go on dates, so I'm still single. So your dog, right? Your whole situation with your dog is that they're not just chewing on your couch. They are depriving you of your freedom. Do you see the difference here? So what started to happen is that Louisa realized the real problems that her clients were having was this lack of freedom. And how much does freedom cost? Like, how much would you pay for your freedom? More than $200 an hour to go to their house and give them 30 days of support, right? Yeah, I think so. So we were able to really nail her messaging, and she started using just that one word in her content: freedom. And people started coming to her like, I need you, I need your help. And she asked people how much freedom was worth, and they were like, thousands. So she upped her program price to $2,500. Remember, she was charging $200. And just by doing this process, she went from making maybe 3, 4K a month in a good month to $40,000. She made $40,000 her first month, $38,000 her second month, and that's almost $80,000 just by listening to people talk. It's so transformative. Like, I can't stress this enough. You need to listen to the people that you want to serve really, really closely because they will give you everything. They'll give you the content that you need to create, how much they're willing to just they'll give you the content that you need to create, how much they're willing to spend, how much support they need, and what actually needs to be in your program. Because, like Louisa found out, she didn't need to train the dogs how to sit or lie down. That didn't matter. She needed to give her clients freedom. So, this process is where it really starts just bringing everything together, right? You go from having that document full of I thinks to a document full of I know this for a fact. This is what people need. This is how much they'll pay for it. And if you don't have an audience, the great thing is you get to just talk to people without selling them anything. Right. And I teach the whole process of how to find these people to talk to. And we don't have time to get into that today because I still have a lot to cover. And I still need to tell you exactly how you're going to spend your time over the next several months. But basically, you're like, hey, I'd love to ask you some questions. So obviously, like, I do have a little script of everything and what to say, but it's so simple. Just reach out, have conversations, ask people questions without wanting to sell them anything so that you start building this network, so that you position yourself as an expert, so that you start building confidence just talking about the thing. That's how we remove that salesy factor, that ick factor right away because you're talking to someone. You're just asking them questions. And I don't know if you know this, But people love talking about themselves. They will spend hours talking about themselves and their problems, right? And you're listening and you understand what they're going through. And at the end, they're like, okay, how do I work with you? This happens all the time with my clients, and I call it the credit card in your face effect, right? Because by doing this process, you start getting that confidence and you start that feeling of like, hey, there's something here. And hey, people actually want to buy from me. They're like trying to take out their credit cards on this call with me where I literally have nothing to sell. And there's this one question, and I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here, but if you ask someone, if you had a magic program that you could buy to solve all your problems about this thing, what would be in it? They will literally tell you exactly, word for word, what they need and what they would literally pay for it. So when you launch your thing, it sounds to your audience like you designed the entire program specifically for them. It's like magic. Listen, I come from a marketing background, right? And I know that nobody in a big company would ever launch a product without doing focus groups and talking to people and really collecting data. That would be crazy. It would be a huge waste of money, waste of time. And that's how I approach this too. Like, why would you create an entire program, record it, spend money editing video, building it on a platform, and then you don't even know if that's what people want? And listen, what happens during this research phase is actually a boot camp of skills that are going to be useful in your entire life as an entrepreneur, like literally forever. As an entrepreneur, you need to know how to talk to your ideal client, how to find your ideal client, how to get your ideal client on a call, how to sell to them, how to create content that attracts them. And these are all the skills that we are building from the very beginning in these first 4 weeks. So that when it does come time to sell, you know exactly what to do, where to find people, what to say. And listen, if you do already have an audience, like if you've started your YouTube channel or you already have some people who follow you on Instagram, the good news is that this process is a breeze. It's so fast. You'll speed right through it. So 4 weeks is how long it can take for someone with zero audience. But if you do have somewhat of an audience, you can shave it down to like 2 weeks. And in those 2 to 4 weeks, we're building confidence, we're getting data, we're building a client pipeline. It's amazing. All right. So our tally is at 4 weeks and 1 hour at this point. Okay. So I'm telling you exactly what to spend your time on, like literally from the moment that this video ends. Okay. So that you can make money because it's not hard. I'm looking at the chat here, and Lou, who is a client, says this is a game changer. You guys, my clients go through this process and they like literally their minds start like exploding. They're like, oh my God, this is life changing. So, all right, this is like serious stuff. You got to do it. And you're going to focus 4 weeks doing just that. All right, so our time tally here is at 4 weeks and 1 hour. And at this point, we know exactly what to make that people will want to buy and the thing that will bring you that money. So now we're going to spend 2 days building a time machine, because here is a hill that I will die on. Every successful entrepreneur has built a time machine. I'm going to repeat that. Every successful entrepreneur has built a time machine. Think about it. Amazon brought the storefront to your doorstep. They saved you that time that you were going to spend driving to the store, looking for your stuff, putting it in your car, unpacking it, bringing it home. Netflix is a time machine. Netflix saves you the time that you would spend watching ads, just watching the things that you want to watch. I mean, unless you have like the ads tier now, which really sucks. Yeah. Okay. Google is a time machine. Have you ever tried doing research without Google or without ChatGPT at this point. It's a time machine. Dario, I see you, and I will answer all the questions at the end here, okay? So stay until the end. We will have a live Q&A where I will answer all of your questions. All right. So we're going to spend the next 2 days building a time machine. So now, with the information that you've gathered over those first 4 weeks, we're going to build a time machine curriculum. And oh my God, people get this so wrong, you guys. Listen, you're the expert. You know everything about your topic. So you're tempted to do what I call the pump and dump. It sounds a little dirty, but it's not. The pump and dump is basically when you pump all that knowledge out of your brain and then you dump it into a course. Now, what's the problem with that? The problem is that you get overwhelmed trying to make it because it's so much information. And then your clients get overwhelmed trying to consume it because it's like, oh, fuck, where do I start? You're giving them content that's too early, too advanced, not in the right order, and they get confused. And then your course completion rates go down, your client results go down, and client results are super important for marketing. So without testimonials, you have no marketing material. It's a disaster. So instead of doing that, we're going to create this lean, super efficient time machine that gets your clients from point A to point B as fast as possible. Because think about it, your clients, they're in pain. They don't want to be there anymore. They just want the result as fast as possible. So build the time machine. But here's the thing. When I say build the time machine, I mean, we're just going to design it. Okay, we're going to be little engineers right now because we're not going to record anything yet. We're going to build a curriculum, we're going to name the program and price it, and that will get us ready to pre-sell. Because again, you don't want to build the whole thing and then find out it's not validated and find out that nobody wants it. So let's get back to our tally. All right, we are at 4 weeks, 2 days, and 1 hour. I've told you exactly how to spend those 4 weeks, 2 days, and 1 hour. Now, let's move on to how you sell the thing. And this is where I prove to you that making money is not hard. Like, literally stop saying that. Can I get that in the chat? I am going to stop saying that making money is hard because making money is not hard. You're about to find out how. Okay. So what happened here is you've got this pipeline of really hot leads that you've already spoken to, right? You've got this pipeline of really hot leads that you've already spoken to. They already trust you. They've probably already told you that they want to buy your thing. So we're going to do a pre-sale. And the great thing about a pre-sale is that it already includes solid marketing principles baked in. All right. Let's talk about these marketing principles. But first, let me take a sip of my coffee, you guys, because I'm not made of iron. Do we say that in English? We say that in Portuguese. I'm not made of iron. I can't go on forever without a sip of coffee. That's right, Chris. Let's get that cheddar. All right. So, like I said, the great thing about a pre-sale, meaning selling the thing before you create it, is that it already includes solid marketing principles baked in. The first is scarcity. That's the first marketing principle that's baked in. So you're going to tell your clients, look, I'm going to deliver this program live. This is the only time that you get to do this live with me. Like, if you decide to be a founding member in my program, you get so much access to me. You get to build this thing with me in real time. You are going to be like an integral part of this whole thing. And people love that. All right. The second is urgency. Why? Because you're starting on a specific date, right? You're going to deliver the thing live. So you are starting, let's say we are going to start on July 1st. If you want in, you've got to get inside before then. So that's urgency. And urgency is really powerful. Have you ever been to a page where it's like sale ends in 3 minutes and you're like, oh shit, I got to buy this before the price doubles? That's urgency, and it's baked in here. And then we've got a discount. You also get to offer a discount when you do a pre-sale, because you can say to your clients, like, you're my founding members, and listen, when I launch this officially to the world, it's going to cost 10K. But you get to work with me now, this one time ever, for 3K. Okay, so now you've got scarcity, urgency, and a discount, plus a list of hot leads that you've already spoken to. And we're not stopping there. We've gathered a gold mine of intel. So now we know how to create magnetic content and reach. Sorry. So now we've gathered a gold mine of intel. So now we know how to create magnetic content, and we've got the leads to reach back out to. And this is where we're going to spend our next 30 days. So for the next 30 days, we are going to focus on one thing and one thing only. We are going to do a quick mini launch, and we are going to sell. And this is the only time ever that we are going to launch your program, because again, we don't do launches. I literally almost died from launching, and this is a story for another day. I can absolutely tell the story of how I almost died launching. If that's a story you want to hear, let me know in the comments. So you're going to spend 30 days or 4 weeks focused on nothing else but selling your program. And with this process and on this timeline, my client Tiffany, who was just here in the chat, if you scroll up the chat, you'll see my client Tiffany, who had 0 followers, made $12,000. So again, with this process and on this timeline, my client Guy, who had a YouTube channel but was never able to consistently make money, made $16,000. And he literally says, like, you guys, oh my God, I can't believe that I'm finally able to live off my music. Those are his words, and it like makes me emotional. My client Sean, also on this process and on this timeline, and who also started from scratch, made $35,000. And Karen, who had a YouTube channel but was never able to properly make money from it for like 5-6 years, made $66,000. And you know what they all said? This was simple. They said that it was simple, that it was easy, that making money is not hard. So let's pull that time tally back up, all right? We've got 8 weeks, 2 days, and 1 hour. And at this point, at least $10,000 in the bank. So stop saying that money is hard. Oh my God, it infuriates me. All you need is a plan and to know exactly what to focus your time on. So you know exactly what you're going to focus the next 1 hour, 2 days, and 8 weeks on. So stop saying that making money is hard. Okay, so we got your clients, we've collected the cash, and you have proof that you can make money from your experience, from your expertise. Now, the question is, how do you focus your time from here on out so that you continue making that money, right? So let's recap really quick. You got your transformation, you did your market research, you built your time machine, you pre-sold your program. Now you're going to spend the next 4 to 8 weeks delivering your program live so that you can collect feedback and make your program even better. So the live delivery of your program is going to be 4, 6, maybe 8 weeks, where every single week you're going to create your slides for that week. You're going to get your clients on a Zoom, and you're going to deliver your training live. There's no expensive tech. There's no worrying about, setting up course platforms. All we're worried about for the next 4 to 8 weeks is getting your clients results fast. So what you're going to do is, for the next 4 to 8 weeks, every week you're going to do one session, which is going to be your training, right? When you're going to teach the thing out of that time machine curriculum that we outlined. And you're going to do another session with Q&A, where you give that high touch support and you help your clients get those amazing results. And they're all going to be in a community so that you can support them in there too. And at this point, right, during these 4 to 8 weeks, You want to focus solely on delivering amazing results for your clients because remember, this is how we're going to build the machine that you'll need to scale. All right. And at this point, you've got three beautiful things that you didn't have before. The first is confidence. Confidence talking to your ideal client, confidence selling your offer. The second is cash flow. You've already made at least $10,000 from your pre-sale, oftentimes much more than that. And you've got client results, which are so important to market your program going forward. Now, I want you to transport yourself to a place where you've just skipped all this. Okay, so just imagine skipping all this and saying, all right, I'm going to create a course, put it online, and ask people to buy it. That's insanity. No wonder people launch courses and hear crickets. On the other hand, what I see with my clients every day is that they go from, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can charge this much. I don't know if I can sell it. Oh, I'm so bad at marketing. To, oh my God, you guys, this is happening. Oh my God, I just made $10,000. Fuck, I can finally make a living doing the thing that I love. And what happens so often when people launch this way is that they look back and think, dang, I probably should have charged more. Louisa, the dog trainer that I mentioned earlier, the first version, the live version of her program was $2,500. She's now selling it for $6K. So you go through this process, and what happens is you realize that, wow, that crazy Brazilian lady that I hired, she was right. And this makes me so happy because you're pretty much guaranteed to make it work. You know what? Scratch that. Forget pretty much. You are guaranteed to make it work. And that's why I offer a guarantee on my program. Because here's what happens. If you start doing market research and see that people don't have interest in the thing, we pivot. We try something else. Like you literally cannot fail. Okay? So let's put our time tally back up. At this point, you are at 16 weeks, 2 days, and 1 hour. And at this point, you have at least $10,000 in the bank and client testimonials that prove that you're the real deal. And this is where things get fun and easy, right? You've got the cash flow, you've got the client results, you've got the confidence. So now we are going to spend 2 weeks to optimize everything. So we're going to pre-record your trainings, make them pretty, write your sales page and your email sequences, build your funnels, and this all of those things that I listed, that's where you're making your program and your marketing evergreen. And by the way, this is what most people do first, but we do it last because now we know it works, right? So remember how I said we're only going to launch this once? Now that you've got clients, you've delivered results, you can automate the process. You can now bring in clients every day. No more launches, no more open cart, closed cart drama, just clients every day because you've figured out what people want. You've sold it, you've run it all in 18 weeks, 2 days, and 1 hour. Okay, anybody want to say like, yeah, okay, I see this. I can see how making money is not hard. I know exactly where to put my time in. Okay, so now how do you get more people to buy? Well, there are 3 things that sell courses. Trust, this is going to come from your messaging, which we're going to have figured out how to do at this point. Proof, which you have because you've got your clients, and value, which is the transformation. That's it. And here's how we keep that going. You know that I'm a huge believer in YouTube. YouTube literally changed my life. Before I got to YouTube, I was creating content like a madwoman. I was launching, I was trying all the things. And once I got on YouTube, my business started getting hot leads from YouTube every single day. It's amazing, right? And here's why YouTube is so much different from any other marketing method online. The first is it's highly targeted, right? We've got both search, so it's a search engine. Like when you have a problem and you need a solution, what do? You go on YouTube and you're like, how do I fix this and that? So we've got search, so it's highly targeted. And we've got discovery. Like it basically knows what your people want and it shows it to them. And so it's basically like free ads. So, first thing about YouTube. The second is it builds authority, right? Think about the last time you got to somebody's channel and you really liked their video, and then you watch the next video and the next video and the next video. I call this the Lulu Flix effect. It's just people binging. And what comes from that is super hot leads. People that have spent literally hours with you. They're like, oh my God, this person knows exactly what I'm going through. And why do you know that? Because you've been through all the other pieces of the process. And finally, YouTube has a really long shelf life. Like I said, I have videos from literally 5 years ago that are still bringing in hot leads every single day. So, what we're going to do is we're going to use YouTube to continue building on that on that money making, right? Because YouTube is the promised land. YouTube is where we're going to implement a content strategy that will help you to attract clients instead of chasing them. And to reach the promised land, here's how you're going to spend your time. Okay. So after you've got those 16 weeks, 2 days, 1 hour, now you are going to spend 1 hour per week sending emails, because email is the only thing that you own, you guys. If you are creating content on Instagram, making videos on YouTube, as much as you should be, you are building on rented land. Your email list is your property. Okay. So we are going to build that email list and send out an email per week. And you're going to spend 1 hour doing that. You're going to spend 2 hours per week packaging your YouTube videos, because if nobody clicks, then nobody watches. So really nailing your title and your thumbnails is really, really important to get that traffic into your video. You're going to spend 2 hours writing your scripts, because obviously we know what your people want, what they're suffering with. So we're going to spend that time writing those scripts. We're going to spend 1 hour recording, because you need to make the thing, and 2 hours editing. That's 8 hours per week total to attract your dream clients. And the best part is this compounds with time. With every video that you publish, you attract more and more clients. And as your business grows, you can bring in an assistant coach, someone to help you in your community. You can, help someone, bring someone in to lead your calls. You can bring in a copywriter to shave time off of those 8 hours per week. You can bring in a video editor. And you can spend more time with your family, traveling, doing what you want. Your time spent in the business decreases and your income decreases. I'm sorry. Blah. No, I said that wrong. Your time spent in the business decreases and your income increases. But in order to get there, you have to do the work up front. Okay? And as you've seen, you really only need to wait, where's our tally at? 16 weeks, 2 days, 1 hour upfront. And then 2 weeks going evergreen and 8 hours per week after that. Okay. We have come a long way, right? And I want to say business is simple. Business is repeatable, and it's about understanding what works for your niche and your clients and just repeating that. And what I love about this process is that we figure all that out up front. We figure all that out first. We validate everything up front so that later you can just do more of what works. And the amazing thing is that even while YouTube takes time to grow, you already know how to get clients anytime you need, because you learned that all the way back in those first 4 weeks, right? So if you want to make money while you sleep, this is how it happens. It is not hard. All right. So let's get into questions, because I know I threw a lot at you guys today. We have been here for over an hour, which I love. I could do this all day. But all right, questions in the chat. I just want to say that, look, if you want to make money while you sleep, this is how it happens, especially when you have that evergreen content being served to your ideal clients every single day on YouTube. Like, I call YouTube my 24-hour army of sales reps because that's what it is. And if you're thinking, oh my God, I need to watch all that back again and take it all in, you don't. What I recommend you do is schedule a call with my team and they will walk you through this process personalized to your own business for free. So I'm going to drop that link in the chat and let's get to some questions. All right. Um okay. So Mish says, oh, and by the way, guys, if you asked a question up top and I haven't gotten to it, please send it again because now all the questions came in. Okay, so Mish says, my program would be kind of sensitive because it's in mental health. Would it make sense to collect anonymous questions before the weekly Q&A sessions and answer them there, then continue to a live Q&A? And how long do I have to be available in chat every day? I fear this could become quite stressful. Okay, so Mish, you're actually thinking of something that a lot of people think, which is like, oh, I'm in weight loss, I'm in mental health, I'm in like addiction. A lot of people don't want to talk about this stuff. And what I've found over my many years of experience is that when you actually have a group of people going through the same thing, you build this really powerful community where people are supporting each other and that anonymity is not that important to them because they're all in the same boat, right? So actually having a group of people where you can talk openly about your struggles is really valuable. Like, think of AA, right? Everyone there is like Alcoholics Anonymous, but they're not anonymous to each other because they're all anonymous. So usually what we find is that that group dynamic is actually super valuable for them. And how long do you have to be in the chat every day? So what we do is we do one coaching call live on video per week, sometimes one every 2 weeks. It really depends on your niche and the transformation that you're helping your people go through. And then what I actually do in between that is I check my community twice a day. So 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night. And also we have like assistant coaches. So as you grow, you're going to have more people helping you take care of that. So while at first you might be spending an hour a day in your community answering questions, again, as you grow, your income increases and your work decreases. And Mish says, damn, you're right. It's a safe bet. Yeah, I know I'm right. Yeah, I know it. I've been doing this for a while. All right. Next question. So Dario says, where can I find my possible clients if I don't have a community, and how do I react with them? And Cozy says that that's their question as well. Okay. So in my program, I have like a very specific strategy to help you find your people where they hang out. But an overview that I can share with you now is basically you're going to find people online who already address the problem that your clients have and who already have built an audience, and you are going to borrow that audience, right? So you're going to find them in the comment section, you're going to find them in Facebook groups, and you're basically just going to reach out. Okay. Alexander says, I already started market research 2 days ago, joined a group, answer question, and PM 10 people per day to ask for an interview. Is that correct? Yes, Alex, that is correct. Depending on how fast you or slow you want this to go, then you can join more groups, message more people, but you've got that perfectly right. What you want to do is really let them know that this is research, right? You have nothing to sell. This is really important because people are so burned. They're like, oh, what's this person messaging me for? They have this thing that I don't need. And the way that you're going to differentiate yourself here is by saying, hey, I just want to ask some questions about your experience. There's no sales pitch. I literally have nothing to sell. And at this point, that's true, right? You literally have nothing to sell. And then that way you really just cut through that salesy, icky piece of the puzzle that is the friction that a lot of people run into. Like, every single time you receive a DM that's unsolicited, it's like, hey, buy my thing. And we are not doing that because that doesn't work anymore. All right. Let's see. Do we have any more questions? What if my program contains some material to start? Make it a bundle? Dario. Okay. So I think what you're asking is if you already have a course, like you've already created modules, lessons, whatever, right? Like, what do you do if you already have that created? Let me know in the chat if that's actually what you're asking. I think it is. But what's going to happen in that case is you are going to do the market research anyway, and you're going to confirm if that's what your clients actually need. A lot of the times, what happens with my clients that come in with a course that they already have or with a program that they already have is that they find that a lot of what they've created they can use, and some of it they don't need. Remember the pump and dump? Like, it's really easy as an expert to stuff as much as we think that our people will need into our program, but then we find out that it's just overwhelming. It's not what they need. So what I encourage you to do is go through that market research process and then confirm that, because again, you're at that place where you have this like beautiful document of I think this is what they want. I think this is what they need. And this is what I built the program on top of what I think, right? So we need to validate that. Okay, Alexander. If I want to help people reverse type 2 diabetes, but had never diabetes or overweight, I have no chance of success. Well, no. So remember, you want to either do a transformation that you've personally been through, which is not your case, or choose a transformation that you've helped clients or friends or family members go through. So if you have worked with clients, if you would say have like your mom has type 2 diabetes and you're a personal trainer and you helped her through fitness overcome that type 2 diabetes, then you're good to go, because that is part of your own story, your own experience, and your own journey. Let me know if that answers your question, Alexander. And Dario says, no, I don't have a course. I mean, if the clients need a physical product, oh, I know what to look for. Okay. So if they need a physical product, what you could do, and this is going to maybe complicate your logistics just a little bit unless you already have that physical product, which is when they sign on to your program, they get the thing that they need in the mail, right? So you just bake that in to the pricing of your program, and you include it. So one thing that I can think about is I actually had a client who taught how to overcome anxiety through watercolors, very specific. And when people signed on to her program, she sent them a little watercolor kit. So you could do that same thing. Okay, Virginia says, I want to target women entrepreneurs who are living a life which is not aligned with them. I want to help you in the transformation as I did. Relationships, finance. Okay, so Virginia, or Virginie. Virginie, are you French? I'm sorry, my French is terrible. But the problem that I see with your message here, and it might just be your message, I think we'd really need to flesh this out a little bit, is that you're not very specific, right? So entrepreneurs who are living a life which is not aligned with them, what does that mean? Like when they wake up in the morning and look in the mirror, how do they know that that life is not aligned with them? And then you want to help them uh with relationships and finance. I think that the thing that you need to do here is just really get more specific. And what I recommend that you do is download the 0 to Consistent 10K month blueprint, which is linked in the description of this video. And it's really going to help you flesh that out a little bit more so that you can be more specific in your messaging. Because right now I read this, I'm like, all entrepreneurs with problems in all areas of their life. And when you're trying to talk to everybody, you're not talking to anybody. Does that make sense? All right. So, any more questions? If anybody else has any more questions, let me know in the chat. I know that there's a little bit of a delay, so I'm going to take a sip of my coffee while you guys type that in. And if there's no more questions, then I will say again, if you want to dive deeper into all the things that we spoke about today, and if you want to personalize this to your business, then go ahead and book a call with my team. This is a free call. It's a no pressure call. Always say, like, you can leave your credit card at home. So book a call with my team, and we can help you really figure out how to apply this to your specific case and your specific niche. And I would also recommend just downloading the blueprint below, where we really dive into the whole transformation piece. And it looks like that's all the questions that we have. Yeah? Is that all, you guys? All right. I will be back again next Wednesday at 12 p.m. I don't know what we'll be talking about yet. So if there's anything specific that you want to talk about, again, drop it in the chat. We can make it next week's talk. But thank you so much for everybody who was here today. It's always so fun, so exciting to be live with you guys. I love the energy that you bring. And remember, making money is not hard. Stop saying that. If you want to see a very, very simplified way to apply everything that we spoke about today, watch this video next. See y'all later.